Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Um, I figured that for Christmas, I will open up the chat to everybody. Just mindful, just be respectful. I'm not going to say hi to everybody, and just if you have a question on what I'm doing, I will try to answer it. If you were with me the other night, I can't remember when my last night was live, if it was Monday night or Tuesday. Anyways, I did some, I found a stencil that I had here that I tried to play around for these two. So I kind of made a, I don't know if you want to call it blizzard, and this one for more Christmassy spiral look. I like them, but I don't like them. They're just not, I want to say they were too easy. Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for joining. I'm just, they're okay. I'm not crazy about them. But I wanted to show you that I was playing around with these other ones. But I am going, let's here, I'll just compare to something like this that is more ornate between the two. More preferred this one. I hope you did also have a wonderful Christmas or whatever holiday you recognize. Ours was just quiet. I just went out and got us Indian food for dinner. And that's all I did. I gave Sal his Christmas present that I painted, the ornament that I painted. He loved it. He's going to try to find a place to, hang it up. So I am actually still thinking, when I was working on, where the heck did it go? There it goes. Sorry, when I was looking at these the other day, or working on this one, kind of wanted to do like a gingerbread kind of thing. Wasn't too thrilled with how this one turned out. It's okay, but the color schemes, like I said, this was just for play, but I wanted to do something a little different. One thing I forgot to do with this one is I wanted to put like some chocolatey colors in it. So I worked around with some things and came up with a better option. I think. I hope. I'm going to try that now. Okay. So I got my little heart here, and you may already see that there's some lines drawn on it in in chalk. And did I say I was going to do? I'm going to give me 1 second here. I'm going to do the center as a dark color. Normally I do it lighter. But I think for this one, just going to try something a little different. Oh, ooh. Actually, doing that just triggered another idea for me to try sometime to do like a monotone of. Oh darn! I still didn't bring those up. Oh no! Oh darn it! Trying to pick up something with me. I need to try one of these in all the browns. That would be cool, I think. So with this guy, let me fix this up. Make it look a little better. Doing a little experimentation on this one because normally I don't put lines out through this. I'll mark the center one and then I'll play with it from there. Let's see. The first color. Going to do quick question. I brought some ceramic figurines to put in my floor beds. I would use this instead. There is, and there are different, of the brands that I have that, the Delta Ceramcoat Full Card is this one. I have other ones to do. I would actually go for something multi-surface. This, answering the question in the chat here, this does, it is weather resistant, and it's good for glass and ceramic, wood and metal, rigid plastic, fabric, canvas, paper, terracotta. One thing I've actually done, and pull it off. Make me move things around here to try to get to something. With these types of paints, let me move this off to the side before I dip it. I've actually took this terracotta and used those paints, used that multi-surface paint for it, and just created a cute little, decorated a planter for myself to put some pothos in. And because it's water resistant, I should be able to like put this in there and let the water drip down into it, and it shouldn't affect it too much. But if you want to, after you've applied it, if you want to spray a clear coat on it, you can definitely find a good Krylon. This is what I use. That can help strengthen the water resistance and the weather resistance to it. So that would work. So, but yeah, you could definitely. There aren't. You really almost really don't even need a whole bunch. You could just there may even be like they may come in sets where you may get like a rainbow set of 8 colors. That if you wanted to just do that, you could do something like that for it. Latex will peel. Oil will be okay, but it's oil and it has. You may have issues with it actually bonding with the item. So that's why I wouldn't recommend either of those ones. So, but I have seen like Michael's had some preset kits that were like the basic crayon color kind of sets of colors of the multi-surface paints. So, oops, I forgot to swing this guy around. Good question, thank you. Why is that one not? What did I do? Hold on a second. I'm just gonna look at something on my tip. Trying to clean off my tips of these things the other day. Thought I damaged that one, but I'm good. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to take Oh, jeez. Because I actually saw something about how to keep birds from eating if you have strawberries, is to paint some rocks to look like strawberries, and then the birds will eventually will be like, nah, screw this, I ain't doing this. And they'll have a hard time trying to eat the rocks, and then they will decide to leave your strawberries alone. Don't know if that would actually work, but I might try that this summer, because I've gone out. I have a little tiny patch of strawberries I'm trying to grow, and every time I see a strawberry, I'm like, oh yay, strawberry, and then it's gone the next day. So I kind of want to try that to see if it works. Yeah, the pie pan trick, they get used to it after a while. They don't, they learn that it's not going to harm them. It's not going to it's not making a noise. It's not going to really scare them off. So it's short of putting up netting, which excuse me, isn't all that great either, because then if they, depending on the netting, they can catch themselves into it, and then you end up hurting the birds, and you don't want to do that. But it's which one? My neighbor had a really nice strawberry patch in front of his house, and then he read, or somebody told him, that strawberry patches attract snakes. He doesn't like snakes, because I've actually had to go in and save a snake from being killed from him. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one instead. I know not everybody likes spiders and snakes and things, but like some people say, turn fear into fascination, and you end up finding out that they're for the good. Because if you don't like bugs, or if you don't like mice and rats and things, guess what eats those things? Now, for your cherry trees, do you have male and female cherry trees, or do you just... That was one thing my neighbor also had. He had he actually had 2 Rainier cherry trees, And they were really good, yellow cherries. And he said he had to buy a female tree and a male tree, and so that they could cross pollinate and actually get good fruit off of them. And a couple of years ago, he chopped one down, and that's good. The whichever one was left behind didn't do so good afterwards, and I think he's gonna have to cut it down too this year. Okay. Wait a second. I am still not fully over whatever in the world it was I had at the beginning of the month. Yes, puppy dog. No, come over here. Come on. Come here. It's blocking the way. That's what it is. And now she doesn't want to come here. So, that's good. Yeah, my mom, she planted pear trees one time, and boy, did it attract a heck of a lot of. She planted apple trees and pear trees, I think. My goodness, did they attract a lot of tree borers, and we just could not keep up with spraying them. It was really crazy. And we didn't like spraying for things because that just made it worse. Didn't want to eat pesticides. Oh, mulberries. There are wild mulberry trees around here, my area, and the birds will go to town on them, and then poop the seeds out everywhere, all over the place, and I'm constantly trying to keep up with those and not let them grow in the yard. They are like very invasive. And they don't die easy. Yes. We had this was on my dad's property, and then my mom left. But yeah, we had the chickens. Chickens took care of all the bugs for us, and then when they wanted to put the apples in the pear trees there, for some reason they got rid of the chickens, and that totally opened the door for all of the other bugs to just take over. The only thing my dad would take care of was the blueberry bushes. Because he would put he would get sheer curtains and wrap the blueberries bushes with the sheer curtains, and occasionally you'd find some dumb robin get up inside of the thing and then get stuck inside of the curtain wrap bushes, and you'd see you'd have to go down and free them. Okay. These rings are not working as I thought they would. Was an experiment. All right, let's see here. My next color would be this green then. This. I'm gonna need that. I'll keep it at 10. I believe. I'm kind of modeling it after this one here. It's a little crazy, but it's nice, and sometimes I can hold my thing up to it to see color or what size I need. Actually, no, I'll keep them there. Put them over here. I miss having chickens. I always liked. We had chickens and ducks. We had a pond. Used to let the ducks just go out, and it was a small pond. Actually, it wasn't the greatest pond because it was it had actually that one. It was contaminated from coal strippings that were done in the area. And the pond was supposed to be like a retention pond for stuff. And it got nasty. Always smelled. that it was filled with cat o' nine tails. When it would freeze over in the wintertime, I would try to go out and ice skate on it, and occasionally I'd be able to get a decent little little path to it, but it didn't work so well because it would freeze and thaw and freeze and thaw and freeze and thaw, and then the cat o' nine tails and sticks and stuff that were inside in the pond would pop up, and you'd be ice skating along, and you wouldn't go more than 3 feet and trip over a stick or something that was popped up through it. Oh yeah, beekeeping's really good. My mom tried that. None of us were allergic to it, but if you do the smoke stuff and get, there's ways that you can get the bees to learn that you're not a threat to them. I was watching that story about the guy in Florida that his neighbor basically took over the guy's property and removed like 28 or some beehives off the guy's property that wasn't his to remove. And the guy actually got a lawyer to work pro se for him, and he actually got it took about a week, I think, but he finally got all the beehives back. And that was the poor guy's only source of income, was the bees. So, I think this design here is going to work with what I want to do more than this one did, because I'm going to be able to, and I like the teardrop or the pins that go in and point to the center. I think it'll work better than my first attempt at this. But I always like to play with when we would have baby ducks. I would carry a baby duck around, and or 2 or 3. Occasionally I would take one, and the time we've finally got like a Nintendo or something, and I'd bring a baby duck into the house and into our trailer, and baby duck would sit on my shoulder, and I'd be playing a video game, and the baby duck would fall asleep, and it's just so much fun to listen to him fall asleep, because he'd peep himself to sleep, and he would just go beep, 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 beep. They're hilarious. chickens when you'd were always curious and wanted to eat anything they saw. So if I had my fingernails painted, they would always try to eat my fingernails. Oh, that's good. Yeah, don't. That's what happened actually. My neighbor, my neighbor to my left, was a elderly lady that would roam the um, roam the neighborhood, and yeah, if you had anything that he said he caught her with a basket, like a laundry basket, and she was out back picking cherries off of his tree, and he had to holler at her to get off. She had to actually go through a gate, a gate to get to it, so it wasn't like they were out in the open. They were, excuse me, they were locked up. And she got in and started helping herself to stuff. Her son lives there now. And, he's okay. He keeps to himself. I think I'm the only neighbor that talks to him. But I don't really talk to him. I just cordial, I should say. But he has OCD or something. Every time he takes his car out, he comes back and you're always seeing him. He washes his car. The one night I was up here in my room playing, and I could hear this humming noise, and it was midnight, and I was trying to figure out where in the hell am I hearing a humming noise, and here he was outside trying to blow the leaves out of his yard at midnight during a windstorm. So I'm pretty sure he lost that battle. But yes, it does, and it does. It takes a long time for the fruit berry and berry bushes to actually establish themselves and become to produce a good amount. My mom has blueberry bushes that are, at least 8 feet tall, and she eats them and she gives them away. But and then she complains that she has too many blueberry bushes, and that she doesn't like to go out, doesn't have the time, or doesn't want to go out and pick them. I don't know. If we all lived closer, I'd be like, yep, I'd be over there and blueberries left and right. I've told her that she lives near a pretty busy road. I'm like, you could put a sign out, and she lives in Amish, or there's Amish people around her, and they will put have like a some will have like sheds at the end of their driveway on the road, and it'll say, it's kind of like an honor system where it will say, hey, here's eggs, or here's yeah, and here's eggs, here's chopped firewood and stuff like that, and they'll have a cash box there, and just tell them, hey, if you take anything, put some money in the cash box, so that took it. But yeah, some people just think, oh, you have blueberries, and share alike amongst your neighbors. And no, it's not like that. It doesn't. Well, the blueberry bushes, I have different kinds. It's kind of like how we were saying, like the male and female cherry trees. You have to have different. I'm not quite sure what the term of it is for the blueberry bushes. Like I think one's called Hobart or Herbert or something like that. You have one of those. You have to get a different one, and just to let them cross pollinate so that you get good blueberries off of them, so that they aren't all they aren't sour. Species, yeah. Sorry, I could not think of the word. And then grow off to the side, and I really should. Don't think I'm going to do tomatoes this year coming. I might just focus on the other ones. Don't know if I'd want to move the blueberries over that section. They'd get better. Right now they get like from morning to evening sun. They don't get full sun. Where I would think of putting them, I usually put the tomatoes there, and tomatoes just love that section. And go once it gets really hot, they go nuts. Okay. All right. It's very hard to see. Catching up to me. There we go. I probably will put other like lighter dots inside of them, but at least that's a good base. Okay, what I am going to do, put a little bit of simple dots. I don't know why, it's just easier for me to do this corner farthest away from me first. Where did my piece of paper go? Oh, I tried. Hold on a sec. To shake up this white a little better. Yeah, we've done that. I've planted the Roma tomatoes, and we'll do them. It just I have a small kitchen, so it's hard to like really go after and do a lot of canning and things like that in my little tiny kitchen. And I didn't win the Powerball, so I can't go and say I can remodel a kitchen. Why did I do that? That's looking Christmassy. So we'll make a good marinara sauce. And I'll use that for spaghetti and lasagna. We had his family visit us one time, and we made one lasagna with store-bought sauce, and then we made one with his sauce. And we offered everybody up which one to choose from, and his everybody went for his, and nobody wanted to take the other one home. We offered to hey, you can take some of the other one home. No, we're good. It's not the good sauce. Hi, bro. I hope you guys had a good stressful day. 3, 4, 5. I pretty much slept the whole day. I stayed up, and sleep schedule was all messed up. I've been waking up at actually staying up pretty much all night, not even going to sleep until maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, sleeping all day, and then I get up and do what I need to do. So it's just a nice, quiet Christmas. Yeah. Rob's catching up on our comments. That's good. Yep, it's just time to relax now. But Sal's going to have bariatric surgery here at the end of July. No, sorry, not July. January. Can't. And he won't be able to eat tomatoes and things. And anything he'll be able to eat like the inside of tomato, but he won't be able to eat the skins of a tomato. So he won't be able to eat cherry tomatoes. And that was no pasta, no potatoes. Anything with a skin, like corn, peas, he'll be able to eat them if they're like mashed up really, really good. But that's why I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to do tomatoes this year because he won't eat them. And everybody else, my neighbors, will do the same kind of gardening. So it's not like I can say, hey, neighbor, do you need some tomatoes? And they'll be like, no. Do you need some banana peppers? And I'll be like, no. Yep. He will be, he's trying to do a, he says he has a 2-year plan to do, to get the bypass surgery done first, lose some weight so that he can actually get his knees replaced and get those ones done. Raw natural. Yeah, some of the Amish will also do honey stuff. I think he can for Alfredo sauce. For the first, as we get into this, I'll be taking more further notes, and he knows more than about this. He's studied this more than I have. For the first week, he actually has to eat baby food. And I think he'll have to have like protein powders mixed in with it so that he gets protein and it fills the stomach quicker. So, oops. All right. Okay. I should do. Actually, no, I am going to do that dark brown again. That's what I planned. Oh, geez. Yeah, when my sister had jaw surgery, and for several weeks, she could eat things, but she had to like put it in a blender and emulsify it to nothing, and she would do that with things like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff. Throw them in the blender and smush it all up. And we went and looked at different things of baby foods that he could pick ahead of time to like, okay, well, let's try some of this one to see how well it is. He picked a few out, so we got some of them. I'll probably need to get that. I think he can eat soup. Yeah, we found at Costco there's a, what's it called? Nuri, Nurri. It is a one of those protein shakes, drinks, and they had strawberry and chocolate, and they taste like a McDonald's milkshake. They have, it does have a little bit of chalkiness to it, but not nearly as bad as like some of those, like those other protein stuff goes there. Those can get pretty nasty. I'm not a fan of drinking chalk. And he's not a fan as far as soup goes. Like, I could drink tomato soup, no problem. I can love tomato soup. He is not a fan of tomato soup. And for, excuse me, for the first couple of, I want to say at least up to a month, maybe 2, the only thing that he can only eat like either a half a cup to a cup of food, and that's it. But he has to do it like definitely 5 times a day to keep the stomach from not reversing, but to keep the nutrients that he needs going. But he's been doing a lot of research. He wanted to do it back in, I want to say 2016 or 2015. And at the time, when he was looking into it, they said that you have to prove that you can, go on a diet and stick with it. And so he did for a little bit. He went and he lost a little bit of weight, and so then he thought, okay, well, I don't need the surgery if I can lose weight on my own. And then he didn't. Stuff happened and life happened, and he was doing the like the Wegovy shots and the Trulicity. And finally, last time we were at the doctor's office, she was like, "Why didn't you look at doing bariatric surgery?" She said, "You would have qualified for it, and she would have done it." So that triggered it again for him. I was hoping to get it done here at the end of the year, but that didn't happen. Excuse me one second. Um, he I forget now what I was going to say. Oh, at the end of the year, I know now. He we had to do this test, or we had to do that test, or we had to do another test, and so I was running him back and forth to doing all kinds of tests and things that you have to do in order to before surgery, so that we can get it done. And we really tried to get them all done here, but ended up that we missed the timeline, and the doctor that that we're working with is one of the go-to doctors for this type of surgery. So she's been doing it for, I think we looked at having her doing it back when we first looked at it. So she's been doing it for quite some time. But he really wanted to get his knees done so that he can be able to walk good. I haven't really tried the Equate ones. We have tried different things from Costco. Like I'll get, what did I get? I got Costco's equivalent to what is it, vitamin water or something like that. And those were okay until I bought the second case of it, and then he got sick of the flavors. And that's what happens, is I'll do things and then he'll get sick of the flavors. So Premier Protein, I think that's the name of that other one. But yeah, we have to watch how much sugar and fat that it has in it, because it can't fill up on that. He has to. But yeah, there's all kinds of things he can't have anymore. What do I have in your bubble right there? I gotta fill. And he trying to figure out, this will be his first major surgery since he did get a he had his ACL repaired. I want to say that was 2004. And even then, they told him that he was a prime candidate for getting knee surgery done, but he couldn't because of how much he weighed. So yes, Brom, to answer this one, this was one that I did on Tuesday night or Monday night. I can't remember which. This one I did sometime last year. I think actually last February. I'll just show you two other, not really Christmassy on this one, but this is another variation that I had. These are okay, but I prefer doing like, these. I'd say this is very simple. This is more my style, more craziness. So I will. But this one here is my first attempt at making a, I wanted to make like a gingerbread color themed mandala. And this one, I just feel like it's close, but it's just not. There's something off about it. And so this is my second attempt. And a different design, because this doesn't have the ovals in it. I'm doing like the pin dots instead. 12. I saw Mom last, or was that Monday of this week? Saw her and gave her the ornaments that I painted up that I've been working on. She was real happy. She actually gave me some more to paint. Where did I put them? There they are. Yeah. He's going to have hard. When he got his knee surgery done, it was hard on us because we lived in an apartment building and we lived on the second floor. And so we had a lot of stairs to climb. And that really didn't help. We didn't plan that out good. So trying to get a big guy up a pair of steps to an apartment didn't think that through. I think I'm going to go with this one. Yeah. Yeah, that brown on brown I'm going to fix with this right here right now. So, okay, should be 5 and 5 here. Sorry. beginning. Let's see, 4, 6, 8. You. Let's make this in front of me instead of doing it off to the side. That would help. Oh, hip bone to hip bone. That would not be good. I probably will need hip replacement myself at some point. I used to do a lot of, when I worked at the factory job I had in another lifetime. I would go on power walks at my lunch breaks. Now I have a hard time walking around. You were constantly on your feet at that job. It wasn't like there were a few things that you could sit down and work on stuff, but for the most part, you were on your feet on concrete floors in steel-toed shoes, and this was well before I mean, we had Dr. Scholl's, but that was about all that you could do, was just try to use those to help your feet. Steel-toed shoes definitely didn't have the memory foam like some might have now. Okay. Yes, this is on the darker side of things, but I got an alert in the weather saying we were under a winter storm advisory or something. that we could get an ice storm. I do not like ice storms. You can give me a snowstorm any day, but not... Ooh, that's tiny. I can drive. I can drive in snow. Nobody can drive on ice. Yeah, I think, Rhonda, I think that's what my mom's thing is. She is constantly busy. I have to keep trying to tell her, slow down, dude. Let me pull this up so you can see it. What may also happen is when I put spray the clear glaze on this when it's finished, is that will also bring out the colors a lot more. So, oh, you know what? You're talking about light. Here I am working. There. I forgot to plug in the light to my magnifying glass. All right, one goes there. This goes here. Looks like bubbles. Yep. Bubbles, bubbles. Oh, don't drop it. Bubble, bubble, bubble. B is better than any letter than bubble gum. There, that helps. Get some of these get it lighter and brighter. Okay, so that was... Yeah. In north central Pennsylvania, you had to have four-wheel drive. You would just be laughed at if you only had two-wheel drive or something. But you always had somebody with a car in your family that had four-wheel drive. And yeah, you'd get a bunch of guys that would just go crazy off-roading and help pull you out. Because you really didn't. I mean, there was no tow trucks around. People would just drive around in their four-wheelers and not four-wheelers, drive around with their four-wheel drive trucks. And if you needed to, you got stuck someplace, then they would help pull you out. You know what? I'm actually... So yeah, if you had somebody that was what am I doing? You're not that color. Oh yeah, that's what we have to. Everybody still thinks that they can go flying 80 miles an hour and not worry about anything. They'll do it. They don't care. And these guys need... That works. growing up, I lived right beside an interstate, and you would always know how bad the storms were if the interstate was stopped. Well, if the interstates were clear, then you'd be like, okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, if you notice that if the interstate wasn't moving, you weren't moving either. And it would just be a good idea to just stay home. Okay. Trying to think of something to do here. Yeah, the one year I remember. Hi, puppy. Pretty sure it was 1994 into 95. In I want to say it was October or November of 94. My little Mustang knocked a hole in the engine, in the engine block, the piston, and we took it to a place. Again, we couldn't tow it, so we ended up hooking it up to my dad's truck and getting it over there so that we could tow it, because you really couldn't drive it. And there was no snow on the ground. It was all dry. It was fine. It was like I think it was November when this happened, and then after he got the car, the guy also had a snowplow business, and he would work on the car on occasion, but like every Thursday we'd have a snowstorm, and it would layer, an inch or two or a couple inches down, and we ended up with 3 feet of snow between November 94 and April of 95. And it was just one big long mess of snow and snow and snow and snow and snow. And every so often I'd call him up, and he would say, I'm waiting on this part, or I'm working on it. And it's just with the snow, we couldn't do much. And I teased him at one point, because he had the car for almost 5 months, and I called him in March, and I teased him and said that, if you fix my car, it'll stop snowing. And he laughed at me, and I said, no, I'm serious. If you fix my car, it'll stop snowing. And he finally did get to fix it. And then finally we had the first break of snow, and the started to warm up and get nicer, and it was funny. I just had to laugh at him. It was like, yep, it was. Yep, people will go out. It's funny. Still don't want to eat stuff at home, so they'll go out. Let's see, this is going to be too big. Maybe not. kind of always good to still have like truck stops and stuff like that to go and eat at. When I was a kid, there was a truck stop up on the next exit up from us. And I remember my parents would take me there, and I'd always order a fish sandwich. For some reason, I was stuck on fish sandwiches. And I liked how they made theirs. Don't know why. I was a little kid. I didn't know what was going on. But yes, puppy dog. What? What puppy dog? Yep. Yep. It doesn't matter how much snow. If you're used to it and that's what you get, constantly every year, you just go with it. When I visited my aunt in Michigan once, she it had snowed the one night, and we got up and she wanted to take me shopping, and she wanted me to go here and there with her, and she was, yeah, I smell you now. Yeah, did you just come up here to do that for me, huh? Yeah, I think you did. What? If I wanted to get to my mom's, we have to go over basically 3 mountain ranges. It's to get through to her place. So, and each mountain in the section you end up having an issue, with different weather than you do on other. You go to the one is the tallest or highest section of the one of the road. There's 22 going out, and they will always have a lot of snow. All right, I'm going to let that dry. Actually, give me that. You try a little dot. Excuse me. Come on, just lay down and stay. Oh my gosh. With my crazy sleep pattern, like Sal's been sleeping during regular sleep patterns at night. I've been up all night, and it's been kind of freaking out the lab because She keeps coming in. Are you gonna come to bed? Are you gonna come to bed? You're staying up. What's going on? Who are you talking to? Do. That sounds familiar. Whittier. Let's see here. That's too big. Yeah, LA County. Okay, maybe that's. Actually, no, I'll do this a little smaller. 35. Yes, hello. Come on, lay down. I know. No, don't bump me. I know. I'm working on something. And I know you came up here to just fart. Yep. Dog farts that clean your sinuses. I know. It's what you're good at. Okay, we're gonna do. I've been watching, if you know the show, Highway Through Hell, where they show the tow truck drivers up in British Canada. Um, you see all the crazy snow and crazy snow drivers that goes up that way. It's neat. It's definitely like a train wreck, watching a train wreck on purpose. Watching people spin out. Yeah, Heavy Rescue 401. Those are fun. There's a new one that they've been showing that shows what is it, Rocky Mountain Rescue or something like that. And what's funny is that my dad liked to watch those shows, and he when he fell and was taken to the one ICU department, they gave him something for his medicine because he broke 7 ribs and broke his wrist, and he needed something for pain, and they gave him something that was like super freaking strong, but it also made him very, very combative. And they called me at like 2 in the morning to tell us that he was fighting with the staff. And so I called my brother and I told him, hey, you and I got to get up there and I'll meet you there. And so we ice road truckers, yeah, that's scary. Oh my gosh, I'm driving over frozen rivers and lakes. I'm like, oh my gosh, these roads don't exist when it's thawed, and then when it does freeze, that it's like so freaking crazy that they drive over that stuff. But the medicine made him hallucinate, and he was going from extremes, thinking that he was riding a horse, to that he was on that show and he was trying to hook up a car to a tow truck. It was funny that got into his head that that's what he was doing, but I turned to the nurse in charge and like, please don't give him that medicine ever again. He might be in pain, but like, give him Dilaudid or something else that he can, make some sleep. But oh wow, he was out of it, and it took me 2.5 hours to drive up there to the hospital to get him, and my brother is about the same. And but I found out actually that the Highway from Hell is actually here on YouTube, and you can watch like a whole season. And it's very. I've been stuck playing that and listening to it and watching it and working on stuff here. I didn't think it was really good. There's another one I saw of ships delivering cargo and stuff to places in, I want to say it was Alaska. That they can only get to them by boat or something, and like the one episode I saw, one person had ordered a bicycle for their kid, and SEMA. Yeah, I don't think that. And they had to wait like 6 months to get the bike there. I didn't pop. Whoa. I didn't pop a couple air bubbles in these ones, and they're showing up. Little tiny pinholes. But I think it's looking better than the first one that I did so far. Let me do something on that edge pink. I want to say somebody's still showing, they may be showing reruns of Ice Road Truckers. I don't think they're showing the actual show anymore. Those shows were like, it's neat to watch them because you just don't. It's not glorious, but I mean, it's not a glorious type of job. It's a very rough job. You're out in the elements. You're doing. You're rescuing people in bad situations. Some of the mangled wrecks that people get, and then when they show like the logging trucks that issue that they have, that's nuts. And the little tiny logging roads that those things go on, and then they expect one of those big giant rotators to go up there and rescue their trucks once they get out of there. That's crazy. I think I could. To me, it would depend on whether if I knew that the river was a good foot thick of ice, or two, I'd be okay. I'd be comfortable driving on it. Having had a pond, like I said, and trying to do ice skating and stuff like that, I get it. But my pond wasn't that thick. My pond was probably only like maybe 2 feet deep in one spot, maybe. The rest of it was just about a foot. But it was nasty. It was sulfur mud. It was not a fun pond to do anything with. It was pigskin treatment, right? I feel like I need to do these over again. I think that was 5. I just feel like I need to put... I was lucky. I mean, our pond would freeze, but it would. You would always have that thought in your head as to whether or not it was frozen enough to actually ice skate on, or even just stand on it. And not that we wanted the dogs to do it, but occasionally, the dogs would go out and be your kind of test subject to see whether or not if the ice was frozen enough to hold up the dogs. And then we'd go down and we'd also take a shovel or something to poke the ice and see how well it was. One year it was frozen enough that I think we had a bear walk on it one time. I do know that we had occasionally we would have bears walking around yards and stuff, and we had 3 neighbors that had horses, and a bear walked through the one neighbor's yard, spooked the horse. The horse broke out and actually ran onto our pond. And that was fun, trying to the horse off the ice because it just stood there in the middle of it was in a bad section of the pond, and we just wanted to make sure that the horse didn't slip and fall and hurt itself anymore. But it definitely got spooked good. I would love to try to not with my hips and ankles as they are now, but I would have loved to have tried to ice skate on regular actual flat ice. I never, since we couldn't do that with the pond, it was just tweet tweet tokanak. At least I should say it's 2 o'clock here in Pittsburgh. I used to love doing it, but like I said, with the pond we had, you would thaw and freeze and thaw and freeze, and then with all the cat o' nine tails that would some rocks and sticks that would grow up into the pond, it was just not an ideal pond to really do any skating, any good skating on it. I saw there was something here in Pittsburgh where they've where you can skate, and they have things that can assist you in skating. Roller skating. Oh yeah, we had a roller skating rink in town, and Mom would drop us off there a couple of times. She'd drop us off and we'd roller skate, and I could never stop. I could never get my feet to drag the stopper. And I tried rollerblading once, crashed, didn't like that. So I always thought it'd be fun to rollerblade. And just my ankles just would say otherwise. Tell me that it was a bad idea. always sprained my ankles as a kid. Never broke them. Just sprained them really good. Never got into snowboarding either. I tried that once. I couldn't get a balance. Now sled riding? Oh yeah, I totally sled ride. That was our jam. We sled rode everywhere we could. One neighbor had a they where we were at, they were always stripping for coal, and so people were. There was one section behind this houses in front of us that they were stripping, and they would like dig carve out a section of the hill, and so we would always go up there and sled ride in the snow when we did it. And we had some fun doing that. One time it had snowed, and then we had a little bit of ice, and that made it so perfect for sled riding. You'd slide right on down. But yes, I've also hurt myself doing that too, because when the one time the neighbor convinced me to use his inner tube instead of my sled. I went down on the inner tube, and there was a drop off where you'd come in, and then boom, there was where they were digging out. And so you'd come down the hill, and then there was like a 10-foot drop. And then there was the rest. If you hit it right, you could get it down, hit that curve and get it right. But no, I didn't. I flew off. The inner tube fell down, and I flew in the air and landed on my back and walked away. I have no idea how, but I got up and walked away from that one. And did a lot of so if you read Calvin and Hobbes, and he does all the silly stunts of stuff, I did a lot of that. So I love Calvin and Hobbes because that was, yep, I did that. I think. Let's try this. They did that, flew off, and the neighbor was like, "You're supposed to hold on to the inner tube." And I'm like, "Where? Where are you supposed to hold on to the inner tube?" It was a giant tire inner tube, and there's no place for you to hold on to. And so I was the first, and well, I can't say it was the last time I used an inner tube. My sister and I inner tubed down a river once. That was fun. So you know what? Well, let me see. It's not 5. Hold on a second. Yeah, I actually like that there. Inner tubing down a lazy river is fun, but inner tubing. Well, there was another place we went sled riding near a hospital, and I don't know why, but there was a big junk pile of metal stuff at the bottom of this hill outside the hospital. It was like, I don't know what it was. I don't believe it was hospital equipment, but it was just like metal junk that shouldn't have been there. And then I was sled riding with my cousins there, and you were supposed to stop at one section, and we somehow went underneath the rope and ended up in the metal pile. And I ended up slamming my back into one of the metal bars or something, whatever it was there. And that smarted for a good while. But then again, got up, dusted yourself off, climbed back up the hill, and did it all over again. But this time we made sure that we stayed, we bailed out before the rope barrier that was there. It's weird. Yeah, I like that there instead. Let me try. Yeah, that's better. Geez. Doo-doo. It's looking good. And all it takes is one person's negligence to mess up somebody else's. Let's see. You still feel like I need to put no, that's two. Let's try number 2. Little dotted 2 right there. finger on something. Try not to put my finger on something. I think this might also help pop this row. Helps a little bit. It's still hiding though. That's not bad. And let's put a little light dot of There we go. Let's get a little bit more pop without applying white, I should say. Because I do like my little layer of white. Yes, puppy, do you like it too? Yes. I know nobody's put you outside, you poor thing. I think I'm going to call this done. I don't think there's anything else I could adjust to it. I like my color scheme. I think this is the yeah. No, there's been about one other that I did. I have these all plotted out as far as the colors. I think this is the first one that I've done where I've used this set, and this set. Any others, it's only been like maybe, this row pink and this set of purple, or this orange and those greens. I have another one that I did the yellows, orange, and greens. Actually, this one is yellow, oranges, and greens. But I'm liking that. That's a lot better, I think. This one's okay. Oh, I think I know what would be good with this one. Let me try it. Do I have it with me? No, we don't. They're up there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm going to move this guy out of the way. I like doing these because they're fun. They're a nice mixture of color. You get to play with different things. But I think, what if I put some pearl white in those sections? So that's 4, 6. Let's see. You're not going to see it right away, but you will see it when it dries good. I didn't want to do this. Like I thought of putting gold or pearl or something on these. And I didn't. I skipped over it. But now I just actually think this may need this. Yeah, I think this is actually what it needs. Give me my paintbrush. Let's manually do this. Oops, wrong one. Oh, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. Yeah, this is white pearl metallic. Because I thought of putting like a silver dot in them, kind of like these are, but actually I think this is working. me just... I just want to flatten these little nipples that it creates. The ones in the center, I'm not going to mess with those. That's actually a little better. I kind of like how that... I would have to manually do it around those ones. I can't stamp those because I already painted that. But yeah, I'm thinking that's what it needed. Now it's a little... Now it's working for me. Don't really like to put a shiny base on something like that, because when I do these unicorn spit ones, they already have a shiny base to them. So that one doesn't. But that one, so it already has a bit of a glitterish base to it, so I don't want to put a shine on it like I did with this one. It works, but it's... It works on it, but from these ones compared to those... There we go. So... even though these two here are really, really super easy to do, it's just basically of the sticks. Like my sticks have numbers on them. Sorry. Like this is 3 to 4. My other ones are 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. You end up just doing, like, you pick a number like 4 and you do 2 dots of 4, and then 2 dots of 5, 2 dots of 6, 2 dots of 7, 2 dots of 8, and just continue that up around through it. It's okay. Like this one, I did a little gold on it. I keep thinking I feel like I need to do like little, maybe tiny gold in here, but I don't know. I think that might be too crazy. So, and yeah, I will fix this up manually. I will have to take one of my brushes. Probably that one. And do this with the pearl just to help it pop. Because with the white alone, without it, it just made it look too flat. But adding that pearl white to it, I think is really helping it give it its 3D, or 2D, I should say. That you have like those layers up a little higher, and the other ones are sub layers, kind of, in a way. And I think it looks good. So, and this one, I'm glad I put that one. So yes. Oh, gingerbread 1 and gingerbread 2. Or chocolate gingerbread. How about that? Because that looks... I meant to put some of that brown in this one when I did it. And when I grabbed all my paint together, I'm like, no, I only grabbed the greens and the reds and the white. Didn't think much more of it. I could put I don't know if I'm going to put that pearl on this. I don't think I will. Because when you angle it, you get more. So, to answer your question, Rhonda, I don't know. I was just kind of, my sleep schedule is all messed up. I'm sleeping during the day and doing stuff at night and just playing around. I'm not really announcing when I'm going live. I just turn it on and say, hey, I'm going to go live and paint for two hours, 2.5 hours. And see how that goes. But yep, cool. I like that one. That one's what I like the colors. Even though it's a darker version, I do like how the and if I wanted to, I wonder if I should put like a little white dot right here to help. Or if I should do an extra row. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. All right. Well, I think that's going to be my end of my test for today. I think I'm good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Rhonda. So I have other things to paint, but I've also got laundry to do. Unless somebody wants to come and do my laundry for me, and then I can just sit and paint. But no, I gotta clean up rooms. I gotta get stuff ready for his surgery and things like that. So I'll have to do it then. It's your own to do. Thank you. Yeah. No, I don't have to go to work until January 5th. So I've got, I look at it as I got a lot of time, but then I look at it as like, oh my gosh, I only have so many days to do X and so many days to do Y and so many days to do Z. And all I want to do is just paint. And so, but it's fun. If I think of another scheme, I might go live and yeah, my sleep schedule will be okay. It's just when I'm off on like stuff like this, I do kind of turn into a vampire, and it's easier for me just to. At least I'm in my own house, and I can do laundry at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and not disturb anybody because it's only me and him, so I can just do it then. So, well, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to, I will post, it'll probably be a quick post. I don't know if I'll, like, give a good announcement time as to when I'm going to go live. But it probably will be, like, really late at night like this, because this is just fun. Just goofing off, having fun, painting and playing with colors. So thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Brum, for joining in the chat. And hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. If you and any other holidays that you celebrate, I hope it was pleasant and peaceful. So that's all I got for tonight. Thank you, guys.